As an Italian living in America, the African American community could be the richest community in the world. Because you have something that white people do not have, and it could be a superpower. Let me explain. Premise, I am an Italian living in America, and I will say that I see a lot of common features between the Italian community in Italy and the African American community. In car sales, and now I do housing, specifically low income and middle income housing. I've seen houses and the way people live across multiple, let's say, cultures, subcultures, and incomes across America. Notice one huge similarity among the Afro-American community and the Italian one, which is community. Only neighborhoods I found out in America where people hang out the most outside of their homes, around, walk around, outside in general, and among each other, where there's a lot of social life. You guessed it, is you have no idea how powerful of a thing this is. White people are very isolated. They don't go out a lot. They don't socialize a lot. The community you have, the communities you have, sub-communities you have are something wonderful. It is something that could make you the richest communities in the world. One of the superpowers I have as an Italian living in America is the fact that I came here, I created my little community of Italians, which is my family, my friends, and everything. We literally collaborate. When somebody does something bad, we put them out. We don't make them part of the group. Somebody has an idea, we put money together. Somebody wants to try something, we all go with that person and we share costs, we share everything. Cost of living of an immigrant that lives in a community like I do is lower than the average American, and the easiness to get into larger investment has never been as easy because you not work as one person buying something, you work as a group of 30 people buying together or investing together or thinking together. When we say, yeah, but you talk about people with low income. Tell you this, right now I'm in Abruzzo. I'm in a very low income area of it. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. There's mostly agricultural workers. Average income here is $1,000 to $1,500 a month. People here have a way better lifestyle than most middle income families in America. Why is that? Because as we say, it takes a town, it takes a small city to raise the entire population and to raise the kids. Every single person has their job here, and every single person has their role here and helps each other out. The person that takes care of the olive trees for everybody. We have the person that takes care of the wine for everybody. The person that takes care of the chicken. We have 50 chicken here. We give them out to a lot of people in the neighborhood. Help each other out. So even though most people here are poor, because we help each other out, the cost of living, the living standards and everything is better. One main issue, education. Italian education is amazing. So even the low end of society is very well educated here. America, it's harder. That if you have that little extra step in American society, especially among the African American community, create a recipe for wealth. Because being one of the only cultures that actually interacts the most with each other, couple that with amazing education, not only for the wealthy part of the community. Create an educated, prepared group, which, unlike everybody else, helps each other out. Pushes out the people that are actually damaging to the community. Raises the people up that are helpful for the community. Raises everybody up like a rising tide. I'm telling you this, I saw this across multiple communities. You have a superpower. I hope you're aware of it. You could literally conquer all of America with this. I understand there are some foundational issues that should be sorted out by politics, by society, by you pushing more for it, by social media, and yes. If you integrate and solve those issues with the community, the strong community you have, and I don't know how you do it. I'm just an immigrant. I'm just saying what I'm seeing here. That is the recipe for, whoa, like exponential growth. It's crazy.
I keep seeing all these hashtags about America. Make America great again. Make America this again. Make America black again. Okay? Make America black again. That's what we need to make a hashtag. And they're going to be so mad. But it's so true because we was here first. Because the black people that they telling y'all about is the Indians. The Negroes and the Indians was the same people. They just didn't know what they want to call them. They didn't know if they wanted to group them together or separate them so it wasn't more of them than them. That's really what's going on. Baby, I know that I'm Indian because I know more of my Indian family than my African family. Let that sit in. It was black first. Christopher Columbus was traded with the ether people. You know what ether means? That's the darkness that they used to describe the sky. Yeah, make America black again. Y'all have a great day. If you seeing this, I need you to like, comment, and repost and say make America black again in the comments. Grand Rising.
No matter who or what America thinks he is, he still needs black Americans more than ever before. Let's get into it. At every major shift, every cultural major shift began with black Americans. Every global trend, every artistic revolutions, every major movement all started with you. From music to fashion to language to sports to politics to technology to spiritual leadership, Black Americans remain the engine that moves the country forward. Without Black creativity, America loses influence. Without Black innovation, America loses power. Without Black culture, America loses identity. Without Black resilience, America loses its moral compass. Black Americans are not just participants, you are the blueprint. Even when America refuses to acknowledge it, everything they celebrate, export, and monetize has Black fingerprints on it. You shape the culture, you challenge the system, you create the narratives, you set the standard, and that is why America still needs you. Not because of what you suffered, but because of Harry. And that is the truth anyways. Let's just watch these few videos and I'll be back with the closing. Do not miss this.
There's no boycott, economic blackout, or strike that's ever gonna work without the Black community showing up. We are the #1 consumers in this country. We are the majority holders of the jobs that run this place. Part of our oppression is keeping us in these diabolical low-waged positions. A part of our oppression is keeping us in these jobs that are going to be taxed the highest rates. And unless Black Americans join in, there's no way we will ever get any movement to work. Black America, I am calling out to you because I know without you, we won't win this battle. A revolution will never happen without Black Americans joining in. And everything that is going on right now is detrimental to our community. I know you've heard about the People's Sick Day. I know you've seen it come across your FYP. So why haven't you joined us yet? You know this won't work without you. And if we don't do this, our children will suffer the worst fate of this in the end. These jobs we hate, they'll hate them more. These loans we can't get, they'll get less of. These schools they underfund will be more underfunded. Without our efforts, there's no way we will fix this, and our children will suffer the consequences of it the most.
So you don't like America, you don't like Americans, you never have nothing good to say about it, but yet you're here, you're reaping the benefits, you're living the American dream, Selena Gomez. If this sounds like you, get the out. Because Selena, how can you say that your people are being attacked? So I guess Americans aren't your people. Because when people in North Carolina were homeless for over 5 months, I didn't hear a peep out of you. When your people were attacking Americans, I didn't hear a peep out of you. The children. So not the children that your people are harming, kidnapping, unaliving, or worse. Right? Not those kids, right? Because Americans aren't your people. America is only your place when you get to reap the benefits, when you get to become a billionaire because of American companies that afforded you those opportunities. That's when you love America. And the people who are getting deported, waving their flags and stomping their feet like if they have a right to be after you came here illegally, didn't abide by American laws, but you're waving your flag as if you're so proud to be from a country that you're running from, to be from a country that you didn't want to be in the first place, to be from a country that you're protesting not going back to. Make it make sense. And then you have Americans also protesting for them. You guys will fight for every other country but your own. You guys are ungrateful. You don't know how good you have it. Because I want you to go to Mexico. I want you to get caught being there illegally. And then I want you to see if they let you gallivant for 20 years and feed you and house you and cater you and give you free money at the expense of Mexican citizens. You come back and let me know how that works. No, because if I went to Mexico tomorrow and I got my ass deported back here, you guys are not going to be crying for me. America is the free-for-all. America is the only country that you guys don't like having laws. Even the military, you go to the military, you reap the benefits. And don't get me wrong, I think that that's the right way to be. I think if anyone's going to reap benefits, it should be the people that are in the military. But here's my point. You think you're going to get that in another country? Don't take my word for it. I want you to go and Google. Start with countries like Cuba, Colombia. You think that they have a choice to go to their military and then they're going to get rewarded? No. That's your obligation to your country. You guys don't know what that's like. You don't know what it's like to have an obligation to your country. So you guys think that you can shit on it and still reap the benefits. And you get away with it because you have the right to do that. Try that shit somewhere else. And let me know how it works. Before you start, oh, America's stolen land. Every country that exists in the modern world was once not a country. Like, miss me with that argument. And number two, before you're like, well, America's the melting pot. But the second a person of color says that they agree with the laws, all of a sudden, well, you're gonna be deported. Look at you. How can you talk like that? You guys are the real racists, okay? I don't want to hear. You guys are domestic enemies. You don't love America. It's very clear and obvious. You guys have been spoiled. You're so spoiled. And good thing I'm not the president, because all your asses would be in the military tomorrow. So let me wrap it up, because Selena, you were also crying, I don't know how to help. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can help. You can take all your money, the large amount of money that you got from America, right? You can take that. You can take everyone who claims to hate America. You guys hate America so bad. You always threaten that you're going to leave. You threaten, don't threaten me with a good time. And then you end up staying. Why are you staying? Why are you staying? So, Selena, you can take them, everyone who doesn't want to be here so bad, but they never leave. You can take them. You can take all your people, even the criminals, right? Even the criminals. And you guys can buy a little island and get away and leave America for the people who love America. Okay? That's how you can help. Thank you.
So, like a week ago, a little over a week ago, my wife and I went to George Washington's Mount Vernon, right outside of Alexandria, Virginia. Anybody who knows me knows that I love history, and so I went up. We went up to and it was beautiful. I'm here in Maryland. It's been 70 plus degrees for the past few weeks. Today I think it got up to 80. Weather's been beautiful around here, and so this was like a beautiful day, and it didn't even look real. It looked like a movie set. And then we took a tour of the house, and one of the first guys was saying, well, George Washington's father built this house or something to that effect. And immediately what came to my mind was, no, the fuck he didn't. I know too well who built those homes, who even made that piece of property called Mount Vernon something that people would want to even visit. When I was there, I heard all types of language. I imagined there were visitors from worldwide, and eventually the guide said that none of this would have been possible if it were not for the enslaved people, if it weren't for enslaved people who had the skills to do all of these things. And it's so, in light of today's decision, America's decision, it brings that experience that I had into my perspective again. And let's just keep it 100. America wouldn't be shit if it weren't for black people. Whenever we were in the house, taking a tour of the house had a very dark, oppressive kind of presence. Then we get to the kitchen, and the kitchen is another house separated from the main house. The reason why they separated is because the guide says that they did not want to smell the food. They didn't want the aroma of the food to be in the home. And whenever I went in that kitchen, I felt something completely different. I felt life. I felt joy. I felt singing. I could almost imagine what the food that smelled like in those kitchens, in that kitchen. And the fact that you wanted to separate yourself from that. And it's like white folks have always wanted to benefit from our skills, but they don't want the stench of us to be on them. It's almost how I looked at that. And I was walking all around the property, and it was absolutely stunning. There was a place further down from the house where George and Martha Washington's tombs were, and again, it was dark. It felt cold, even though it was warm outside. And then you walk a little further down the hill, and now here is the memorial to the enslaved people who made Mount Vernon, the White House, the Capitol building, America, black people who, again, if it weren't for America, if it weren't for black people, there would be no America. And quite honest with you, I went into this election with Joe Biden's words kind of ringing in my head when he was campaigning. And he said, well, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. This old white man from Pennsylvania, who I know, old white man from Pennsylvania all too well, had the nerve to allow that to come out of his mouth. It was at that moment something just clicked in me, and I realized black people have been getting pimped by this country, by the Democrat Party, by the Republican Party this entire time. And I hope as black people that we have nothing to be ashamed about or discouraged about. There wouldn't be a funky ass American country. There wouldn't be no punk ass United States if it wasn't for us. And as far as I'm concerned, America will never prosper until they do right by us. And I also don't wish to be grouped up with other POC. If we're going to keep it 100, most POCs don't fuck with black people. And so this is not a people of color problem. This is not this is, none of that. This has to do with the soul of America and what they did to our people. And my mom was confident last night. She said there ain't no way they're gonna vote a black woman, and she was right. She knew. Her experience as a black woman told her that what we were trying to accomplish was impossible. And my hope is that this will bring us together in a place where we will recognize our collective power as black people. Some of y'all might look at me a little crazy because if you know me, I'm also half white. But let me tell you, my whiteness doesn't give me any fucking credit. The one drop rule applies. I have dreadlocks. It's too late. I'm black. And so all people who identify as black, I don't feel we're shocked or let down. We've been knowing this is who the country was for a long time. But I am seeing it hit white folks in a different way. And it feels like maybe for the first time, many of them recognize that how unjust this country actually is. My goal post this election is to focus on my shit, focus on my business, and build my brand, speak my message, and be able to be more in control of my own destiny. Let's just be honest. In this country, money talks, bullshit walks. And so I just have to focus on improving where I'm at, my standing. That way I will have more options to me if what it looks like I may need to do if we need to abandon ship here on this continent, or at least in this country. But anyway, those are my words for today. I don't mean to rub the weather in the face of people who might be in the Pacific Northwest right now. I'm sorry, but it's beautiful out here in Maryland. Peace.
Rolling back segregation. What are we going to do?
Not one goddamn thing. Not one goddamn thing. I speak for myself, just my personal opinion, but I done speaking about this and I spoke to leaders, and everybody I speak to say it's probably gonna be the best thing that ever can happen to black people. A mandate for us to unite with our consumption power. We got the greatest consumption power in the world, and you gonna mandate us to unite? Yeah. Ever since we integrated, our economic state has been worse. Our families have been torn apart. And when we made a decision to chose that, we got what we got now. And everybody that I see, that's why you don't hear no outcry from black people about this new executive order about segregation. I don't think we give a damn about it. I know I certainly don't. I ain't for it. I ain't pushing for it, but I ain't to get it. Correct me and tell me if I'm wrong in the comments.
Let's get real, family. The Trump administration loves to talk about making America great again, but they leave out the one little truth. America was only ever great because of diversity. If you think about it, every piece of this country's foundation, from the labor that built the railroads, to the cotton that built Wall Street, to the art, to the music, science, and culture that shaped our identity, came from people who weren't at the top of the social ladder. Immigrants, enslaved Africans, Native Americans, Latinos, Asians, we made this place run. Without diversity, there is no America, period. Now Trump and his team, the same folks who are pushing Project 2025, want you to believe that diversity is the problem, that inclusion somehow weakens us. But ask yourself this: if diversity didn't work, why is every major American innovation born from it? The jazz that inspired rock and roll, black. The salsa that shook the Bronx, Puerto Rican. The labor that built the West, Mexican and Chinese. Even the food that they love to eat at their rallies, from fried chicken to tacos, came from cultures that they claim to resent. They call diversity wokeness. But the truth is, they're just scared of equality, because equality means accountability. It means they can't exploit, exclude, or erase anymore. Trump's America talks about law and order, but ignores the laws of humanity. He preaches America first, but forgets that the real America has never been one race, one religion, or one language. The real America is the rhythm of Harlem, the flavor of San Juan, the sweat of Mississippi, and the dreams of every person who believed this land could be more than a flag. It could be home. If diversity didn't work, Trump wouldn't exist. His businesses, his hotels, his whole empire was built by immigrants, guarded by black security, cleaned by Latino women, empowered by people who don't look like him. That's the hypocrisy they don't want you to see. So when they have the nerve to say, take our country back, ask them, back from who? Because the only thing they ever want to take back is progress. Diversity isn't America's weakness. It's her superpower. And if we ever remember that, black, brown, Asian, native, white allies alike, then no administration, no demagogue, no dictator can divide what God has already designed to stand together.
This closing is going to be as short as anything. America cannot do it without Black America. No matter how they do, no matter what they do, Black Americans are the bedrock of that society. So never let America make you feel small. Black America, I'm talking to you. My foundation of Black Americans, it's you I'm talking to. Never make America make you feel small. If anything, America rises when Black Americans rise. The rising of America depends on you Black Americans. That is just what I said now. So do not even start feeling small, or don't even make whatever you see make you feel like, oh, you're small. You're not small, you're great. If you fall, that country falls. And of course, you don't want that country to fall because that is where you're from. That is your country. So it will not fall. And so if you don't want it to fall, you have to stand firm. And right now, they even need you more than ever. Do you know that? You're even needed right now more than ever. Anyways, let me stop here, right? Kindly subscribe, like, share this video. So I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you had scenarios where you want to give up? What's actually kept you going? People want to hear your story in the comments, right? Even me, I actually want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do not forget, it's me, BJ, on Global Gist with BJ. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.